Yahoo! Welcome back to another episode of Wrenching on Stuff. So the Raptor suspension is, well, the shocks need to get rebuilt. It's a little jittery going over bumps. So I already have rebuilt shocks from Texas Shock Works. They just came in. So we're gonna do the rear first, and I'm probably gonna have to do the fronts on a separate day. Same video for you. I've already got the truck lifted up. That's the driver's side, so we're gonna do that first. Then we'll get to the passenger side. Probably just gonna do one side unless something really, fantastic happens on the other side, but it's pretty much the same thing on both sides. Stickers. Oh, stickers. Alright, first off, you're going to want a 15 millimeter for this side, and then it's an 18 millimeter on the inside. It's not even going to fit. That's, let's see, that's a little snug. Except for a spanner wrench would be better, but I don't have an 18 mil spanner. Alright, I have an 18 mil, one of these like open style guys. It's from Harbor Freight. It's janky at this point. So, I don't know if it's going to work, but we'll give it a shot. It's going to be loud, buddy. Yahoo! So my camera ran out of memory right at that last second. So basically, when you undo the bottom and you still have the top left, blah blah blah, there's still a mosquito out. So we're gonna start off a couple days later. The camera that I was using before was having some kind of memory card problem that it's never had before. I didn't really bother looking into fixing it. I just needed to start to get some stuff done. I ended up finishing the rear on my own with the camera off. Turned out just fine. I do need to re-torque everything because I think I used too many ugga-duggas. So these are the replacements. Nothing really special about the job. Yep, just a matter of lifting up the truck so that the rear tires are off the ground. Now there's this protective shroud. It uses a 4 millimeter like an Allen key or a hex, like a hex bit, and undo that, swap that over to the replacement. There's 3 of them, and then fit it back onto the truck. Very straightforward. So as I was saying, a couple too many ugga-duggas, I think, so I need to loosen it and then tighten it down to 60, I think it's 68 foot-pounds. That's really it. Now moving on to the front, a little bit of, well, you could call it disarray of things going on. First start off, needed to take the wheel off. Gotta undo the steering tie rod. That takes a 20, I think a 21, and then it almost comes out on its own. Well, at least mine did. But just smack it with a hammer on the bottom side just to break it free. Then you undo the top, but make sure you have something to secure the knuckle before you do that. I ended up just using a ratchet strap, leveraging the body mount, and then that's part of the skid plate, and just spun it around here. So that's what undoes that, and you need to do that in order to get access to remove the whole assembly out. Now up top, this is where it gets a lot of fun. There's 3 nuts that you need to remove, and you can see one here, and then there's one more way in the back. That one was very difficult to get out. I think it took me about an hour to get just that one out. Loosen the remove the nut off the back too, loosen the front one, pretty much mostly all the way, but don't remove the nut, because you also need to remove this big guy. This thing is absolutely monstrous. The head is a 27, and then the nut for it, this is a 30. It's absolutely monstrous. You're gonna need a massive, absolutely massive breaker bar, maybe even a cheater bar on the breaker just to break it free. And then I don't know if an electric impact is gonna be strong enough. I have air, so I used air to end up spinning it off with an Ugga Dugga. Then it's the tricky part trying to get this out from the lower control arm. What I didn't realize is that removing the sway bar end link is going to be a big help. So that's something that I am going to remove now so that I can get this in. But basically I needed my friend to stand, and it was tricky with the room. He had to stand on this just to get the whole arm to pull down far enough that I could get this to pop out. And now with this new shock in place, it's going to be tricky to get it back down and in, I think, because everything's been repressurized, new oil in the system and new nitrogen. It's filled with nitrogen, the whole thing is compressed, so that ought to be fun. But in order to get this in, you need a spring compressor. Over here, I used this. It's like a clamshell style spring compressor. So I got this at Harbor Freight. It worked. These pins didn't exactly go over, which they're a safety pin. So I rolled the dice. Not best practice. Ideally, you should probably take this to a shop, just because the springs they're just so thick. They're so girthy. That's what she's. And I've done that on both sides. So over here, I got the other new shock in. About to get this locked and loaded, ready to go. Undoing the end link made a huge difference on how much this whole assembly needed to get pushed down. You can see I've got it bolt threaded through, and I ended up taking my ratchet strap, ratcheted it, got it around the bottom of the control arm to the upper control arm, tightened it down. This thing is so tight. But anyways, got it pulled down, and now I've got the nut on the ball joint. Just need to tighten it up, and then this side is going to be very close to being done. Still got the 3 nuts up there. I got the tie rod end, and I need to bolt up the big guy on the bottom. So I'm pretty sure I've got this side all done. Got everything torqued up. This is 85. This guy is 85. I've got the big guy tightened up as much as I could get it. I got all 3 of those done. Sway bar, end length, that one was 59. Yeah, so that big guy, oof. Check this out. So front suspension Let me see. I gotta find it. If you find it before me, let me know. Shock rod nut. Nope. Lower shock nut. 406 foot-pounds. Really? 406? That seems a little much. So I had to break out my big torque wrench. This one goes up to 250 foot-pounds. I tightened it till it clicked. Then with my breaker and a cheater, I just tightened it what I felt was safe, and then that's where we're at. So I'm gonna go finish buttoning up the other side, throw the wheels on, and then this is done. Alright, got this side all done. Everything's torqued down, just like the other side. I hit this one as hard as I could. These are 65, 65, no, 85. You know what? 85. I should probably double check. 85, 85. This guy, 59. Those guys, as tight as I could get with just my hand, because there's literally no room. Pretty much all there is to it. I'm just gonna double check these, make sure that those are right, and then it's put the wheels on and let her rip. There we are, it's on the ground. Suspension hasn't not leveled out because literally just put on the ground, so it'll probably sit a little bit lower than what you see here, but we are done. Gonna take it out for a little ride in just a little bit. Gotta clean my hands. They look more dirty than what you see. Anyways, gonna clean myself up. Then we'll go for a little ride, see how it feels.
Many months later.
Did you see him rip it?
Yeah, he just ripped the gas.
Look at how wet and muddy that is.
Ah!
Now what do you think, bud? Was that fun?
Yeah,
Yeah, it was. You want to do it again?
just through there.
Ooh, I have an idea for one more shot.
What?
One more shot.
What? I'm walking with you.
Yeah, you